Chris, Kathy, John with sports, and Jerry with your Storm Track 3 forecast.
Well, the calendar says October 1st. You wouldn't know it to take a look at weather situation across southeastern North Carolina today. You can also see this is near the intersection of Old Boardman Road and NC 242. And if you tighten up the view on a few of these pictures, you can see what at times looks like evidence of at least some dust and dirt and whatnot being kicked up near the surface. Sometimes it's very hard to determine what is a true rotating system and what is what we sometimes refer to as scud. And it wasn't just the main cell that formed in Horry County and went through Columbus and Bladen. There were other cells out there too, including one over in the western portion of Robeson County that eventually passed close to Cerro Gordo as it was moving up out of the southwest. Has now pushed into extreme northern Columbus County, where we do have a tornado warning that is currently in the National Weather Service, and a fairly decent signature here showing up on our Doppler radar mosaic just to the north of Lake Waccamaw. That's the area we're interested in the most. I'm going to turn off the radar mosaic and actually turn on the shear profile. In fact, let me do a little bit of manual movement here, so bear with us just a second. Watch where this originated earlier, down in Horry County, and you can see the shear signature looked fairly impressive, then weakened a little bit, and now in the last half hour or so is starting to look a little more impressive now over toward Lake Waccamaw, just north and west of there. Now the system is just up to the north of Lake Waccamaw. So let's turn back on the sweeping radar mosaic, turn off the shear, and I'm going to stop this. And let's zoom into a much tighter perspective here. Again, we're talking about areas just to the north of Lake Waccamaw. This cell is moving up to the north and east. So if you're watching us from Council or eventually as far north and east as Carvers, those are locations that could possibly see effects from this storm as it continues to move along. Rosendale seeing some heavy rain at the moment, but again, it's down here, the southern end of this cell, that we are most concerned about. So just to the north of Artesia and Lake Waccamaw, and the cell again is moving off to the north and to the east. As we turn off the radar imagery and turn on the shear track, you can see we do have a fairly impressive shear signature showing up for this particular cell. Let's switch over to source 2 here for a second to get a wide perspective. You can see how these showers and thunderstorms are progressing. That's a tornado watch that you see in effect down there toward Georgia and also Mississippi and Alabama. Let's go back over to our other source now. Keep in mind, whenever a tornado warning is issued, this is a ground truth tornado, because we have seen not only a signature on radar, we've actually had some reports from viewers. We are going to be joined in a moment by Mark Council with the Columbus County Radio Network. Does anyone know if we have him ready? Are we ready to go to him? Mark, can you hear me at this time?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, if we could get studio audio in here so I can hear Mark's response. Mark, I'm going to ask you to describe for our viewers, and keep in mind a lot of them are just kind of walking by and hearing this for the first time. Describe to us what you saw, about what time and where, and we're going to be tightening up the radar view for you here in just a second, so go right ahead.
Yeah, we were heading, or we are heading east on 74, 76, and between Hallsboro and Lake Waccamaw, we saw some cloud rotation north of the 4-lane, and we thought it was smoke initially, but then when we got up to it, we realized that it was not smoke, that it was rotating clouds, and then we saw some debris on the road, and then we kind of put 2 and 2 together, and we thought it was a tornado.
Okay, where are you now, and tell us what you're seeing now. Is the cell north of your position now? Tell us a little bit about what you're seeing. Where you are now relative to the storm.
Okay, that was roughly 15 minutes ago, so we're almost at Delco now. So here it has been raining, but looking in my rear view west of here, it is still pretty dark. So
okay.
So it looks like the weather is west of here.
All right, thank you, Mark. We're starting to lose the connection there, but Mark Council again joining us. Thank you for that. Columbus County Radio Network. And here are a few of the storm reports, and in some cases some minor damage. Nothing major structurally, no major injuries, no fatalities. That's always good news to report when you have more than one tornado warning being issued, but certainly strong enough winds to down a few trees. And over here near Carvers up in Bladen County, they had some reports of downed trees up there a bit earlier today as that line of storms was moving through.